stat you want to see. A Western Bulldogs fan, you're not doing well statistically. Essendon, once again, are 7th last in this expected scores, which is not good, okay? You want to be doing better on the expected scores, because generally, if you can actually convert into goals, you'll be doing better. Now, next up on the expected list, we've got the average score above or below expected per game. Once again, pretty similar, but Collingwood are at the top, then Adelaide, then Geelong, then Melbourne, then Brisbane, then the Dogs, then Sydney, etc., etc. Once again, Carlton are below the AFL average, as are Essendon. But Adelaide and Richmond are interesting as well, and St Kilda finished dead last in that stat, which is not good. Average score above or below expected score per shot at goal. Effectively, the rating. How good are they? So basically, that means, if you're confused, if your team's expected to score a goal, is it above or below what they actually did? So generally, you want your team to be pretty high. And unfortunately, Collingwood are at the top of the stat. They are head and shoulders above the competition with 0.19 rating for this. Then are Adelaide, then Geelong. So Adelaide and Geelong are doing great statistically. Melbourne come in 4th, Brisbane in 5th, Dogs, Sydney. So great teams at the top. Unfortunately for Carlton and GWS, they sit just below AFL average, which is 0.01, but they sit at minus 0.02, which means they're basically not converting well, right? The opportunities they get, they don't do well from it. Hawthorn, St Kilda, Richmond, West Coast, they all finish in the bottom 4, and Port Adelaide and Essendon once again are below the AFL average. If you want to look at set shots, are set shots important? Fuck yeah, they're important. For set shots, North Melbourne are the best at converting, then St Kilda. They are way above AFL average. Then Essendon and Fremantle. You look right at the bottom, Adelaide are dead last. So it's actually quite a good stat to be last at, which means, in 2023, Adelaide were 3.35 and the AFL average was 3.51. That just means there's a lot of room to grow for Adelaide. They have a lot of work with set shots, which is something that you can work towards. It is a big issue, but they can definitely improve on that. Melbourne in 2nd last, Richmond in 3rd last, Geelong in 3rd last, Richmond in 4th last. Collingwood, Carlton and Port Adelaide also sit below the AFL average. So that's a stat that it's not that important, but it's kind of good if your team's sitting low down in 2023, which just means there's heaps of room for improvement. And if you're someone like North Melbourne, St Kilda, Essendon at the top, there is room to, fall behind. This is a confusing one. The average expected score per shot at goal for shots in general plays, so not set shots. I believe that's just general play. Basically, this reflects how difficult, or the average difficulty of a shot taken for your team. So for all in a game or in this season, for all the shots that your team took, how difficult was it? So if you're higher up, you're good at scoring those goals from general play. Not as difficult. If you're low down, they're very difficult. West Coast dead last, and the Dogs, Richmond, Melbourne, Adelaide, Carlton. So quite a few teams under average. Collingwood are in 2nd, which is a very good stat to have. Brisbane in the top 6 as well. Sydney also above AFL average. Now, we all know defense wins premierships. Famous Alex Ferguson quotes. In terms of defensive statistics, a lot of it is system based, not so much statistically based.